Welcome to your magic moon message. This is the peace dealer. The moon is in Pisces and the sun is in Capricorn. The moon has entered Pisces with Venus. Venus is about 0 degrees Pisces. The moon is about 3 degrees. Saturn is like 16, 14, and then Neptune is at 27. Now, I'm going to open up a concept real quick. It's called the dream ball. I talked about it in a previous video. Maybe I'll make a video for it. When I do Neptune in Pisces from 2012 to 2025, I'll title it that, the dream ball. Neptune, of course, returns into its sign every about 165 years, give or take. And every time it does a hater's ball. I mean, a dream ball. It's only a hater's ball when Saturn comes in, but like that, there's a dream ball. Okay, I mean, Neptune, Poseidon is back in its home. It's like Disney on steroids, but Disney is family friendly, so there's probably not going to be controlled substances like that. Regardless, it is a fantasy-esque ball. It's creme de la creme. It's held by the elites, but this is like the experience of it. And I don't mean like elites like in a conspiracy way. I mean the concept of just the highest level of possible existence. Okay, every time planets transit through Pisces since 2012, they're the planet that's hosting the dream ball. So imagine it's like the Oscars, and when Venus transits through there, she's now temporarily the host of these Oscars, right? Since March of 2023, Saturn has entered there, and this is the end phase. Saturn's sometimes a bit of a party pooper. I'm not gonna lie, when Saturn entered, a lot of people ran away because it's like, oh shit, Kronos is here, and now the only people who are left in the dream ball actually have integrity because Saturn's just been exposing people. Like, people's karma has been catching up to them. Does that sound familiar? So basically, Saturn has been here. Last year around this period, Venus and Mars went through Pisces. Okay, Mars conjuncted Saturn in Pisces, began a new 2-year cycle. It was pretty lit. That facet of the dream ball was just kind of very, no one knows what the fuck happened, but it was very interesting. You can go back to like March, April of 2024 if you want reference. February, March was the last time Venus is here, and now she's back. Okay, so Venus is exalted in Pisces. Out of all the hosts who will come through and do the dream ball, when Venus comes back into Pisces, the red carpet is put out. It's a huge affair. It's a very huge affair. And she brought a +1. She brought the moon. The moon's going to be here for 2 days, understand what it's looking like, and go snitch to and go relay that information to the rest of the zodiac. Venus is going to be here for like the next week or two. You should feel the shift immediately. This is now exalting the vibration of the fantasy here. Venus is the heart, all right? The reason why it's in its fall in Virgo, you don't have to take that seriously, but you could think that Venus isn't trying to analyze and write a list of you have to have this and that and just be too neurotically sensitive to how to kind of be perfect. Actually, she loves being in Virgo. She makes so much fucking money in Virgo. It's actually really insane. But in Pisces, she can put her rose-tinted glasses on and enable, the toxic boyfriend that she knows very well she shouldn't be, but she keeps on seeing the best in that person. She gets to love at this very delusional level. I'm gonna be completely honest. So if you start to get more delusional in love, just it's a period, it's a phase. Let that roll. You kind of need that a little bit just to kind of stimulate your imagination. But it's cool. You have to be delusional. No. Can you? Yes. Will you get more points? Absolutely. During this period. So why that's significant is now Kronos is in Pisces. Poseidon is in Pisces, Aphrodite, Venus is in Pisces. The moon is literally unveiling the beginning of this portion of the dream ball. This is the last dream ball we're gonna have until it goes into Aries. So like, this is the culmination with the Reaper here, bringing in a totality of everything that's possible to believe, dream, and achieve. So You want to think that relative to the angle this is taking place towards, in relation to Uranus and Taurus, and in relation to Jupiter and Gemini, we're coming into a completion. We're coming into a facet that is culminating everything since earlier last year we had began and activated. And so this is going to really be the exaltation of what your heart imagines it can accomplish through you actually accomplishing that. This moon in Pisces unveils how lit this dream ball is. I'm not really, it just need to be because Kronos has been making everything dry. Kronos wanted to test your beliefs. It doesn't believe that you can make it work, so it wants to be like, oh, you were talking all that shit. Do you believe it now? And Kronos was really just sucking this shit dry because it's its job. But now Venus is gonna polish it. Venus is gonna make it a little bit fun again. I'm not gonna lie. Saturn's still there, so everyone's serious now. Like I gotta be with this type of person. You see how everyone's more serious than ever about what partner they want to be with and everything. That's Kronos, my friend. So like Venus is coming through. She was beefing with Mars while she was in Aquarius the past 2 weeks and a half. So that's 5 of Swords, all that miscommunication, all that attitude. That was Aquarius's weird ass. And now it's in dreamy, delusional Pisces, where she can now just put the rose tinted glasses on, knowing she shouldn't fuck with you, and she go fuck. Well, not you. She loves you. Okay, but for real. Oh. So this is a huge deal. This is very much so a huge deal. The fact that she's just touched down and entered there with her +1, the moon, who's just going to be there for 2 days. So you're not only coming into this divine understanding of what this dream ball is, during Capricorn season, this phase of the moon is activating the experience of God power you activated. So this universal power activation that we do every year is now coinciding with a total understanding of what that feels like. What is the vibration of you activating greater capability in the utilization of your consciousness, and how you can reach in your imagination and warp reality. And this is where this gets even more sci-fi. And if you don't believe in this, I understand. Because we're activating at this nature and capability, the square to Gemini has to actively readjust your perspective so that you are aware that certain things you did not think in Gemini were possible are possible, because you're understanding how in Pisces your beliefs are shifting because you're experiencing it happen. You activated God power like 2.5 days ago, and then you reawaken the supernatural quality of it for the first time since the 1700s, which none of you were born. And this is a unique experience. So now this is an experience that is quite literally otherworldly, and Venus is polishing how smoothly and not choppy you can quite literally understand what your imagination is facilitating to warp your reality. Okay, and you don't have to do these weird, cheesy light candles, super manifestation stuff. It's really aligned with what you believe is possible and what you have commanded. Capricorn is the decision. So what have you decided, and how are you experiencing happening? Because in 2 weeks from now, when the moon goes into Virgo, and now this metaphysical understanding has integrated into a detailed, tangible, practical understanding, you're going to understand how what you've activated now, you're seeing the details of. You're like, oh, 2 weeks ago, I believe that if I slap my face twice, I'm going to see boobs. I'm going to see $50. You feel me? And now, moon's in Virgo. Boom, I got the $50. Like, you're making it consistent. This is going to drag out into 2 weeks. And a week from now, the moon's going to be in Gemini by next Friday. And you're going to actively understand what to think to integrate this consistently. So that means over the next day and a half, you're going to experience supernatural phenomena that induces causality between what you imagine and decide and what happens. And you're going to master that over the next 2 weeks. You've done this for years, but the ability for you to be more aware of what's happening is going to be profound. And it's going to mark a whole new era, blah, blah, yada, yada, yada. But that's just the best way to really think about that. Once again, the shift between the square of Gemini and Pisces is actively readjusting your perspective, because you are having to account for unseen metaphysical phenomena that It consists of your imagination and the facet, the 99+% of yourself that exists, that's not physical, that's beyond the electromagnetic spectrum, that still exists. And you're literally understanding how to use that to warp your reality. This is your physical self. And then you're engaging, now that you've activated this ability to direct it, how do we... Okay, I want to once again say, by the time the moon is in Virgo, you now have a perfect understanding of how to utilize this. So that's what makes today very divine, because that's what begins the experience. The belief we change in a week will be now a mental change, which in 2 weeks will be an analytical, critical change. And that's where I say it gets sci-fi, because you don't have to believe in shooting key blasts from your palms. This is all auto nervous. You're the part with which your effort comes in is, what beliefs are you reinforcing, and are you letting influences unseen and seen around you shape your perspective, because they're projecting their belief systems and their ideas and their opinions on how you fit in their narrative. Okay, and how, oh, you're this age, you're this color, you're this sex, this is what you should be doing with your life. But that's just a script that they cast you in. And if you're not getting paid to play that role, you want to cancel on that contract, and you don't necessarily want to be fit in the box of what people believe, especially if they don't fucking know you or who you are or what you are. You want to catch ways you do this to other people, and the work you put in, because remember, the activation of this lunar cycle is sowing the seeds. Once it goes into Aries, the seeds are breaking through the ground. So we activated God power in Capricorn. The moon in Aquarius helped you understand the knowledge of what that is. Now you're casting the imagination. Okay, what do I believe that is? And if you have the integrity to actually stand on that and not really be fazed by how delusional that is for other people, you are taking back your power. The 300-degree sextile to Uranus and Taurus is going to actively, literally feel into the tangibility of phenomena that's extra dimensional. It's outside your physical ability to perceive until the moon is in Virgo. So get creative with this, practice the law of assumption, live in that end state. That's the whole purpose of a decision. You are experiencing that metaphysical understanding of your Capricorn decision. I decide. I was going to say something stupid. I decide that I have 2 kitty cats by my face right now. I have already decided what that endpoint is. That's basically how do I imagine that? That's what's activating the final part of 2 cats. They're not Siamese. There's one right here. There's one there. I feel it. I see it. I'm imagining it. And apply that to this attitude. We're activating a divine attitude. We're going to integrate this attitude in a week towards what we think to now form the behavior around attitudes and skills we're integrating to become techniques. This is all being subconsciously guided, so you don't have to really be like, what do I do? What do I do? Just spend time in your imagination. Enjoy what Venus is sharing with you. Don't be afraid to be unconventional, because we're ending an entire world cycle. Cycles that begun in the 1800s, since the 1990s, since the 1700s. So if you're getting too caught up on how people romanticize the past and what it's supposed to be, you're going to miss the fact that your uniqueness and the ways you don't fit in these square holes as a round peg or whatever, that's being geared towards a brand new system. Like the New World Order is literally less than a year away. Saturn and Aries is the New World Order. The world is Saturn. Order is Saturn, new is Aries. The end of the world, end Pisces. That's a really good way to see that. But with this extra cast in play, you don't want to get caught up in reinforcing old generational whatever, because that's what people are used to. Where you're getting prepared to pioneer things that have never been uttered, thought about, spoken, and don't let anybody play you. Don't play yourself. Enjoy this rabbit hole you'll be going through, and as it prepares you for the eclipse, really, open up your mind to the fact that spontaneous supernatural awakenings of power will be occurring, and they're going to feel weird, but You know, you'll adjust very quickly. And I hope you enjoy this next advent into the apotheosis of your soul. I'm using a lot of verbose language to sound smart, but I do mean it. And see you on the other side.